Opening Vox channel. Establishing connection. Feed beginning in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome, everybody, to the Real Heresy Hours podcast with me, Void, and your co-host,
Locust.
And so Locust, what are we doing today?
Okay, so episode 2. I know we're on a long break. Long story short, a lot of life getting in the way, but we missed a lot. We're not going to recover it because you probably already know. But yeah, so basically today we're going to be covering we're basically just going to talk about the news of this week, which there's quite a bit of. Going to cover the news. We're then just going to talk about whatever the hell we were doing this week, and then ended off with a lore section of probably both correct and incorrect lore that you shouldn't take 100% accurately.
Keep in mind. It was my PS controller. My bad.
Are you playing Street Fighter?
No, I'm playing Monster Hunter.
What the Okay, so Void's playing Monster Hunter. We're doing a podcast.
I mean, I'm still listening, don't worry.
Okay, I hope so. You guys hear fuck Xeno'jiva? That's probably why.
Xeno'jiva's a good fight, don't at me. Anyways, let's continue on with the podcast.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, so let's go with the news first. So, start off, this week, this is going to be kind of out of order a little bit, but essentially, first off, Warhammer Fest got announced. You're now able to pre-order tickets. To people who don't really know what it is, it's essentially a Warhammer convention. Essentially, it's so I believe you can go to play games, paint. You get to see like all different displays, like all the professionally painted models there. Also, a lot of announcements.
I think it's fair to say it's essentially Warhammer Comic-Con.
Yes, I believe it too. I'm just checking. I believe it's at Warhammer HQ. I'm just checking where it actually takes place. Where is this? Okay, apparently it's going to be taking place at the NEC on the 2nd and 3rd of May, 2020. There's going to be previews and reveals for content to come. There's apparently going to be a seminar about how Warhammer content is made. There's going to be a panel about the studio itself. There's going to be a Warhammer shop. There's going to be a tour of the facility. There's going to be build, paint, and play section. And Golden Demon is going to be hosted, if that is.
What is Golden Demon?
From what I gather, it's essentially a competition where the best painted model wins the Golden Demon.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah. Also, there's going to be a kids area, most importantly.
For any of the older people who have been with Warhammer for a long time.
Which is a lot. There's also going to be...
it has been going on since the 80s. It makes sense that they have a large older following.
There's going to be lots of cosplay, and from what I've seen is very well. There's apparently going to be some Black Library signings, which I wish I could go to, and wish this wasn't in fucking Britain. But yeah, basically that's what's going on. But if you want to pre-order it, you just go to you just go look up Warhammer Fest UK, and you can buy your tickets there. Unfortunately, me and Void can't go because we're both stuck in Canada. So
we're both stuck as broke Canadian students. Let's go, boys.
I don't know. One day, and if it wasn't at possibly the worst possible time for us. Okay.
Yeah.
Next up. So again, these aren't really in any order at all. Actually, yeah. So these aren't really in any order I want preferenced. But so we had 2 reveals for Necromunda. Actually, first up, we had some new novels from the Black Library announced for them. First of which being called Terminal Overkill. Apparently, it's really good as a first read. It's essentially from what I can gather, about an all-out gang war between House Goliath and House Escher, I believe.
How do you spell it?
ESCHER.
Oh my god, Escher.
Escher?
I love that.
Okay.
They're named after a Canadian artist.
I mean, okay, I don't know what they look like. Okay, it's apparently going to be about main character is going to be someone named Brielle, an Escher ganger of the Wild Hydras, and essentially her family got massacred. Things aren't looking well for her. She goes on the run and just basically swears revenge on House Goliath. And yeah, basically just her killing her way to that, which is nice. Then is another one called Underhive, a Necromunda anthology. Oh, before I forget, the Terminal Overkill is by Justin D. Hill, and then the Underhive anthology is going to be collectively done by Mike Brooks, Guy Haley, Darius Hinks, and then it's advertised, and then there's a few more yet. It's just going to be basically a bunch of as it says, anthology stories about Necromunda. The next one is a bit weird. Sorry, not a bit weird. Next up is actually an audio drama called Venators. Venators. Venators.
Venators.
Venators. It's going to be a 3-part audio drama. I have to get a physical version of this. Each part is going to be focusing on one of the many bounty hunters who are in the Underhive. Basically, so one story is going to be about what happens when a desperate girl encounters the deserter. I don't know what that is. I don't know much about Necromunda, but basically this just seems like a good thing to go. Then it just kind of then at the end there's kind of advertised other great Necromunda novels. Necromunda, I've always kind of wanted to get into Necromunda because it seems very like it's like these small stories in one area of the universe that's just this one place. So it's a little bit simpler, but it's nice and still very cool.
It seems very interesting.
Yeah. So there's that. Then we got a reveal. Not really a reveal. We got more info. While revealed. So that was awesome. But now it looks like the House of Chains are actually getting Ogryns. I can't really say how good they are because I don't play Necromunda, like I said. But
I don't know how good they are in Necromunda, but I was checking them out in 40k. They're pretty serviceable.
Yeah, but Necromunda and 40k are like their own separate thing. There's no correlation. So like,
no, there is a correlation, but not in gameplay.
Not in gameplay. It's not like Kill Team where you can just take them out. So I don't know how good they are. They're technically Ogryn slaves, but they seem good from what I can tell. I don't really know. But yeah, seems to be doing good there. Okay, next up. This is a lot of side game stuff, not like main 40k stuff.
Yeah, this is like specialist game stuff.
Yeah. Next up is Warhammer Quest, which essentially, next was Warhammer Quest. Reveal for them in their Blackstone Fortress. Death Guard are coming to it. Essentially, they have invaded the Blackstone Fortress. I don't know much about this game, other than the fact that you're playing Explorer, just going through the fortress looking for treasure, I think. I do know that whenever something like odd comes out, they always throw it in here. Kind of like, it's because the Blackstone Fortress, from what I can tell, is just way out there. To give an idea, when they announced the Zote, did I tell you what the Zote is?
You did.
Void?
I despise the concept so much.
Well, that's why it's no longer around.
Yeah.
Although apparently in 5th edition there was a Zote hive fleet, but basically the Zote was in like 1st edition was the emissary of the Tyranids. So when coming, they'd send this thing, and it would like say, "Hey, yeah, we're coming." Like it would talk, like, "Hey, yeah, we're coming." And I was like, "That's weird. That's very weird." But generally they just throw shit in here that isn't going in the main game. That's just kind of supposed to be this funny side thing.
Yeah, it's the more like comedic part of it.
Well, not even really comedic. It's just like if they want that's gonna be something like ridiculous. They just throw it in here. That way, it's technically canon, but not canon at the same time.
Yeah, it's canon but not present.
Yeah, like there's some people saying how the Zote changes everything in 40. If they really did, they wouldn't have thrown it in the Blackstone Fortress.
Yeah.
Or advertised that there's only exactly one of them.
Yeah, like if they wanted the Zote to be an actually important thing, it
wouldn't
would
be
likely have appeared in like Ball or something.
Mm-hmm. Maybe not even Ball. They just would have made a bigger deal about it. But no, it's definitely not anything important. So yeah, I don't know much about Blackstone Fortress. Not gonna act like it looks like they're getting like the abilities they get are very much similar to what they already have, which is inflicting plagues and making things more difficult for people. That's all I got for that. Next up, again, there's not a whole lot this week, unfortunately. Next up, this was revealed like earlier in the week, but we got the announcement of the new next book in Psychic Awakening, Call of the Wa.
What?
No.
I will not skim into my mic, don't worry. But
thank goodness.
I fucking love. I don't play orcs. I might get into them because they really fit my. Like I'm very hyper. Like my playstyle is very hyper aggressive. Yeah. And honestly, I might start playing orcs. I just love
they're good for
how fucking crazy they are.
Yeah. But essentially, yeah, they're crazy. It's great. So Call of the Wa, it's going to be about. We got a little short story to go with it. I am not, but essentially, it's interesting. I think I'm not going to go through it because it's too long, but essentially, this.
But all you gotta know, it involves the orcs and it involves my space boys, aka the space wolves, aka Big Papa Lehman Russ.
Lehman Russ, just a clarification. Lehman Russ was not announced. He's not.
I know he was not announced. I wish he was, but he wasn't.
No, he's not. He's not in this.
I just want Lehman Russ to
I know
leave the warp and start kicking ass again.
If he's even in the warp, we don't really know where he is. He could be a wolfen for all we know. He could be a wolfen for all we know, which is probably what he is.
No, he can't be a wolf. He can't be a wolfen.
Yeah, he can. His armor was found.
Yeah, but he can't turn into a wolfen. Only his children can. No.
Why would only his children can, but he can't? It's like saying Sanguinius. Hold on. It's like saying Sanguinius couldn't get the blood rage when he had the blood rage.
No. The reason that anyone in the comments can correct me if I'm wrong. The reason that what's his name, that Lehman Russ can't turn into a wolfen is because the wolfen are a result of a mutation to do with human DNA and his gene seed, because it somehow got infected with wolf DNA. So his gene seed is corrupted. He isn't, and his gene seed can't corrupt him because he makes his gene seed. But
usually, any issues with the gene seed is shared with the Primarch.
I know, but he's an odd case because the thing is, the reason that the blood rage exists is because of something that Sanguinius had, right?
Yeah.
But the reason that the wolfen exists isn't something that Lehman Russ had. It's something that happened when his gene seed was made and put into people. You know?
Okay, that still doesn't seem right. Anyone?
No, because even so, what's his name? Because Sanguinius had the blood rage, but not the black rage.
I think it's red thirst. Wait.
Yeah, he had the red thirst, not the black rage. The black rage is something that his children have.
Yeah, it's red thirst.
Yeah.
Well, not all of them even.
Wait. See?
Oh, boy.
All right, Locus, you may continue. I'll have to be right back.
Okay. So basically, I was going to get. Okay, basically, I'm just going to say this. Plus, someone please correct us because this doesn't seem 100% correct. So, yeah, let's get that checked out. Any other comments?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So anyway,
right, get us to the next part. I will have to be right back because my mom's calling me.
Okay.
I'll be back in like less than a minute.
Okay, I'll just edit this.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay. Anyways, yeah, someone please correct us. So anyway, continuing on with Call of the Law. So yeah,
like,
it's
just
going to be orcs
correct
versus...
us if we're wrong, because it's my hypothesis that I don't think Lehman Russ can turn into a Wolfen because of the fact that the Wolfen thing is something to do with his gene seed, and it's not like Sanguinius, this whole thing. But yeah, continuing on with Call of the Wog, Lucas.
So basically, yeah, it's gonna be versus the Space Wolves, and the Space Wolves have sworn an oath to kill the leader of this particular Wa. This leader being Gadskull motherfucking Thraka. Yeah, he's back, and apparently it's rumored he's about the size of a dreadnought now, because he's just been getting stronger and stronger. So yeah.
So he's 100% like the new beast, basically.
Yeah, pretty much, because he's one of the few orcs that, like, if he shows up, they'll be like, other orc tribes will be like, you son of a bitch, I'm in, because he's massive. And they're like, oh, big orc, gotta follow him.
Big boss.
Like, we haven't seen his model got teased a few weeks ago, but we just got Morkai instead.
Fucking love Morkai.
What's that his name?
It was something more. Oh no, it was like.
I'm gonna check it. I don't think that was his name.
It was something like that.
Let me check.
Morokai, maybe.
I feel like we're wrong. Makari,
yeah.
We got Makari's model teased, but Gadskull. Makari, we saw his model. Gadskull's coming back for sure. Because we saw a preview of his model. It's looking great so far. He's definitely got a size upgrade because apparently he was tiny.
His guns look a lot bigger.
He doesn't have guns, I don't think.
No, yeah, they should. Well, I think they should like the. Oh no, they should. Yeah, they should the exhaust pipes. That's what I got confused with.
Yeah. So he's probably still going to be the melee. Although, from what I've heard, I don't play orcs, but from what I've heard from people who do play orcs, they really want him to get a buff to melee because in the lore, he's one of the strongest melee fighters, period. So a big thing that people want is they want him to be as the model, datasheet wise, to be as dangerous as fighting one of the other strongest melee fighters. Those being Mortarion, Gilliman. I'm not really going to throw Abaddon in there because he's not really the best. Like, think of the Primarchs, other than Magnus. Think about Mortarion, for example. He can get a shit ton of attacks in melee. So you kind of want Gadskull, one of the strongest melee fighters in the game, to be up there, or at least comparable to like a Demon Prince. Maybe even stronger than Demon Prince, because they also get a shit ton of attacks. He has to be this threatening force. Like the Primarchs, they are threatening. They are terrifying to fight against, specifically Mortarion. But Gadskull kind of was never that, partially because he's not a Lord of War, he's an HQ. But I think at least if you make him... Because orcs, even with their warlords, don't give a shit and go all in. Because they're more terrifying that way. So I feel like they just need to do more of that. They need to be more... I don't know. I just feel like they need to fix him. I do know that he's going to be terrifying when he does come out, because orcs are already insane if you play them right. Like, I had a game recently where I was using because I as much as I love Death Card, my main army is Craft World Eldar. So I was using my Eldar, and I'm being fucking outgunned by orcs. He wasn't even using like the massive... He wasn't even doing like the massive like squad of like boys. It was literally just fucking like... his entire list was a Gorkanaut and a Morkanaut, 2 Death Coptas, 8 tank busters in a truck, and he heavy mech with a big gun. That was it. I literally only killed the death copter. That's it. That was the only reason I killed it was because I just threw my Wraith Guard with D-size into cover and just like melted it because he got me off guard early in the game. To be fair though, that guy's like a local legend for me. So, yeah. Shout out to the Pink Wah. That terrifying thing. Anyway, so
The absolute mad lad.
yeah. But yeah, so essentially orcs I feel like don't really the big thing from what I've heard that people this Psychic Awakening is an updated data sheet for Gazgul for Thraka, but orcs from what I've heard don't really need that many updates because they're in a pretty good place. Like I know people don't play them competitively, but if you can play them, you play them. So
yeah,
you're good either way. Space Wolves, on the other hand, definitely need an update. They don't have to be like broken, but
they don't have to be broken. They just gotta be serviceable. They're they're in a really bad place.
They're all right. They're not great. They don't have Doctrine, which, as I mentioned with Dark Angels, they also didn't have. If anything, they're probably going to end up where Dark Angels are, which is Dark Angels after their update became good, but not fantastic. They're in a better place. Like the biggest thing that in my opinion, in that Dark Angels update was how if you have a Ravenwing bike like 6 inches away from an enemy, you could just drop a Deathwing Terminator right there next to it 6 inches away. So suddenly their charge became a lot fucking easier for a Deathwing Knight. Because Deathwing Knights are great because they have essentially a flail of corruption. So damage is allocated. So Deathwing became a lot more terrifying that way because you can certainly start using Ravenwing to get up close, and then bam, turn 2, you suddenly have a shit ton of Deathwing models in.
Yeah.
That's what really made them like that improved them. Weirdly enough, they got no updates to Plasma because I know Plasma weapons are cheaper for Dark Angels by 10 points. But they didn't get into that we're in
I'm surprised they don't get a thing like how the Salamanders have with Flamers where they just get this big buff with Flamers.
Yeah, well, to be fair, Salamanders. Flamers are broken anyway. Or not broken, they're terrifying.
Yeah, they're not... I was going to say, they're not broken. They have negative range.
Well, they don't even have... What do you mean negative range? They have They generally have 6 inches.
Negative is just an exaggeration for almost nothing.
I mean, it's not really nothing. If you're that close, you're fucking dead.
Yeah, but 6 inches compared to a lot of guns that have upwards of 32. I'm pretty sure most bolters have in between 24 and 32 inches of range.
24. It's not 32. It's 24.
Stalker bolters have 32.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. And you get how many in a squad?
10.
Yeah, still.
You can because with
Tau. They are Tau who have all this range on
they're not Tau. Yeah, they're not Tau and they're not Admech. Yeah,
Admech is ridiculous with the range. To be fair, the range comes from they're not the weaker units, they're stronger units. Oh, geez, sorry about that.
Yeah.
What? Oh, sorry, I yawned. But yeah, I don't know. Space Wolves will probably get Space Wolves are probably going to get an update similar to Dark Angels, where they get into a better place. I don't imagine them being broken by any means.
Yeah. What's it called? 100%. They should get a buff on melee because they're a very melee focused, melee oriented army with the Wolf and the Thunderwolf Cavalry and a bunch of other stuff.
I think they already do though.
Because I know that they have unique weapons like the Frost Blades and Frost Axes
and Murderfang.
Yeah, but Murderfang's a character, different thing.
I just love Murderfang.
No, he's just a straight up Wolf and Dreadnought
with face.
It's almost as wild a concept as the what's it called? Blood Angels Librarian Dreadnought.
That's fun. That thing's fun. I don't know how good it is. I think it's the Death Company Dreadnought. That's good. That's a good unit.
Yeah. But the thing is it's just a Dreadnought. It's not like the Librarian Dreadnought. That's a Dreadnought plus basically.
Yeah, but this thing's a Dreadnought with the black rage.
I know, but you get what I mean.
Yeah. Anyway, so I really hope they get more. Yeah, they probably. And yeah, I just kind of hope they're in a good place with that. They're probably not getting any rules for successor chapters because they don't have any, as far as I know. I don't think Space Wolves have them.
Space Wolves don't have any.
Oh no, I think they had one, but it died. It died off. I think they work similar to the Iron Hands. Iron Hands don't have the success, but they have like this like clan system. So I think it's something like that.
Maybe I forget. I forget Wolfboy lore.
Yeah, the space furries.
Shut
I know
your
they get,
mouth.
I know Space Wolves have like a lot of specific rules depending on what like Xeno faction they're fighting. Like they have something against Thousand Suns. They have something. They get some buff against Eldar for some reason. They get some buff against Chaos. It's really weird the buffs they get. They also get random buffs against what's it called? Not against Drukari. It's like no, sorry, they get a buff against Harlequins, not just Eldar in general.
Really?
Which is really weird. It's specifically Harlequins.
Not too sure why.
Yeah,
in the comments, please tell us why.
Yeah, because I'm like, what did they do against Harlequins? I get Thousand Suns, I get Chaos. I don't get where the Harlequins come from. Like, it's Harlequins. Like, what did they do? I mean, they're the strongest. They're some of the strongest melee fighters in the galaxy, but still, it's not even an argument. They actually are like strong, one of the strongest melee fighters in the galaxy. I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, I kind of hope we might get some more orc models. Maybe Grots will be good because I was talking about this to a local orc player that I know. Grots are stupidly cheap. They're like 2 points, 5 points each.
What the fuck?
And they're troops. So so you can make just this massive group of Grots in a battalion. Not to mention, what makes it even better, they have a command point called Grot Shield, where if a unit takes damage for a command point, you can just give it to a Grot. So, Grot or Gretchen? Let me check that.
I think they're called Grots.
No, but there's two types.
Oh. Gretchen is likely a female Grot, then.
No, orcs are entirely male.
Oh yeah, true. Well, they're entirely something.
Whatever the hell they are.
Yeah.
Gretchen. It's Gretchen.
Okay.
I don't squid. Fun fact. Grot. Okay. Fun fact. Orcs, Grots, Gretchen, and Squigs are literally all the same thing.
Yeah, they're just what's it called? They're all just orcs in different like stages of life, basically.
No, they're different species.
Hmm.
Grots are just okay. Here's how it works: the fungi that orcs give off, essentially, can either give off an orc embryo, a Grot embryo, or a Squig embryo. That's how it works. They're not different stages. Squig is different from a Grot. They're all orcoids, which is how it works, but they're different.
Okay.
There's that. That's pretty much it for Call of the Wa. There wasn't really anything other than like Gazkul just being closer. That's about it. We do know what the Psychic Awakening happening after it is. It's gonna. I don't remember what it's called, but it's simply going to be about Admech, Imperial Knights, Chaos Knights, and Demons, which in my opinion was a big missed opportunity to bring Dark Mech into this. Because the Dark Mechanicum is a faction, but they just have no rules at all.
Oh yeah, the Dark Mechanicum.
The Dark Mechanicus or Mechanicum or whatever.
Yeah, it'd be sick to have them like in the game.
Yeah, because they're just evil They're just evil Mechanicus or Chaos Mechanicus.
Yeah,
but they still do the same shit.
No, and that's the funny thing. We literally have I forgot their names. God damn it.
What?
We have like Chaos Knights.
Yeah.
But then we don't have Dark Mechanicum.
Yeah, I think it would have been cool. Like, I don't get the demons. Maybe it'll make. I thought it would be cool to have Admech, Imperial Knights, Chaos Knights, and Dark Mech.
Yeah.
That would have been cool, but we didn't get that. We're getting, I don't know. I mean, the Mechanicus are also getting flyers, so that's one thing. And flying units, which I don't know how to feel about. But yeah, essentially, yeah. Orcs are getting their update. We don't really know what. I'm just waiting for the day Death Guard get their update. Finally, I just want it to happen. Like, they're not in a bad place, but they could be better. Like, okay, here's my wish list for that. Whenever that happens, I don't even care what faction they go. I want to happen. Here's what I want. Okay, I just want. I want. Okay, let me just rephrase this. More psychic powers. Okay, that aren't just buffs or debuffs. Because I know the Death Guard don't like Psychers, but what Psychers they have are fucking powerful. So I just want there to be fucking Psychers that can do more than just give a slight buff to shit.
Yeah.
Like, Mortarian's over here and he's just doing the casual or like buffing shit. Like, because there's a ton of like Death Guard armies either will always have one malignant playcaster, and if they don't, they have a demon prince and Mortarian and Typhus, who are all Psychers, but they just fucking don't have anything useful. So the buffs are good, but they're not worth. Like, there's nothing there. It's just shit.
They're good, but they could be so much better. Like,
there could be more variety instead of like the same ability. There's nothing that is like you need it. It's just the abilities are just stuff that'd be useful. You just use them for smite, and that's like it's just so boring.
Yeah.
Like fucking the chaos.
It's not even like what are they called? It's not even like Space Marine librarians, because librarians are basically just like for help, but they can do a lot of good stuff. Like, they can really help out certain units. But like, they're not like, what I was gonna say is like, they're not like Tyranids, where Nids have like extremely powerful abilities on their psychic models.
Yeah.
Like Symbiostorm for Cronus and what's it called? Symbiostorm and Catalyst. Catalyst, fucking Christ.
Meanwhile, Death Guard, the most they get is something they attack has -1 to wound. Has not -1 to wound. It has like a -1 if they have a +1 to hit or something like that. It's like just not very good. It's just AOE debuffs and just they're not that good because in lore, Death Guard are like able to summon these like a single sorcerer is able to summon these demons. They're like able to communicate directly with Nurgle. It's like you can do all this crazy shit, but they don't have it. Tallyman, I want them to get Canticles because they're essentially just evil chaplains. Give them that, please.
Well, they're Nurgle-like chaplains.
Yeah, like they have the whole like you reroll whenever you use a command point and you get a 7, you get it back, which is fine. It's a cool gimmick. It's a good ability. Kind of want there. Plague Surgeons, make them fucking worth it. Because they're not.
Yeah. Like
their whole ability is they increased they've +1 to hit against Imperium armies. Cool. Why? And on top of that, their whole they don't actually heal anything. They just let you re-roll if you're like within 3 inches of it, you get to re-roll. You're discussing.
Yeah, I think that's really dumb because what's it called?
Like, what the fuck?
It's like apothecaries get to heal and even revive models.
They get the fucking like Plague Surgeon, like,
and also like apothecaries. If you spend the CP for it and make him a, I forget the term. It's like a
chief apothecary.
A chief apothecary, and then make him then give him Hero of the Chapter. You get what's it called, Father of the Future, which is literally AOE Disgusting Resilience.
Yeah, and like meanwhile, like okay, if you're re-rolling Disgusting Resilience isn't a must. Like you don't need to do that if you really don't want. You don't need this fucking character that's not going to be doing anything sitting next to him. Like, a fucking tallyman could just stay still because he's not going to be doing abilities a lot more useful. And he doesn't need to get fucking killed to do it. Another big thing in terms of models, Death Guard gets to share some units with the just general Chaos Space Marine. Yeah. They get to share units with them, and these units are also shared among the what?
Among the
sorry, ow.
what just happened?
I just sneezed. That actually hurt quite a lot. They get to share. Ow! Actually, that really hurt. But basically, they get to share units with just general Chaos Space Marines as well as Thousand Suns, which is fine. Similar to Marines.
Wait, what? They show 1,000 Suns? Oh no, never mind. I see what. Okay, never mind.
Like,
I just went brainless.
They get to share some stuff like Hellbrutes, Sorcerers, and all that. Here's my big issue. Okay, here's my big issue. Let me find. So the stuff that, like, for example, Sorcerers. Let me use that. They can use the Nurgle, the Gifts of Nurgle, or whatever the hell our psychic powers are called. But here's the thing: they don't get disgusting resilience. So,
in my opinion, that actually makes sense, though.
Why?
Because
why?
What's it called?
They're
the
Nurgle sorcerers.
They're supposed
to have it.
No. The sorcerers are sorcerers, but you're just running them in a Nurgle army. Like, the sorcerer's stats are balanced around.
That's the thing. That's the thing in lore.
No, yes, in lore, but I mean in game.
Okay, here's what I'm trying to get at. That's really dumb that they don't have it, because if you go into Thousand Suns, a sorcerer will have their abilities. Black Legion, it'll have the abilities that comes with being a sorcerer there. If you look at librarians, they will share the chapter's trait. In this, any psyker in any other faction, if they're part of said faction, even if it's like they've combined, so librarians, or not really fire seers, but librarians, for example, if they're in a different, no matter what chapter they're in, they share the chapter trait. In this, sorcerers don't.
But the difference of that being that a chapter trait is applied to every model, but not every model has disgusting resilience in a Nurgle army.
Every Death Guard unit has it. Even, and what I'm getting at is, librarians are a model that's shared multiple factions and multiple armies. The sorcerer is the same. Is basically a chaos librarian. That's what it is. That's not like exaggerating. That is actually what it is, as said by GW. So a librarian gets to share the chapter trait with every other thing. Okay, Death Guard's chapter trait is disgusting resilience. They should get fucking disgusting resilience. That's the big thing. So that's the reason. It's also a more expensive model that has more wounds and can use more psychic abilities. It's better than the Malignant Plaguecaster. The reason people use Malignant Plaguecaster is because the sorcerer is gonna fucking die because it doesn't have disgusting resilience. What will happen is they are like, oh, it doesn't have disgusting resilience, shoot it down. The Malignant Plaguecaster is squishy, but it has disgusting resilience, so it lasts longer. The sorcerer doesn't have it. Hellbrutes, as far as I know, don't fucking have it. Possessed, don't fucking have it.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there, because if Possessed had disgusting resilience, that'd be really broken.
But they're supposed. Okay, the point.
They're supposed to, but there's also a balancing. But there's also a balancing issue. The problem, because
why can't they have it?
Because a Possessed is balanced around the traits that they have. The traits that they get from being Black Legion are very minute. They actually don't get any traits from being Black Legion, by the way.
Okay, what the hell? I'm looking at them right now. Okay, other than the fact they say False Emperor, that doesn't matter. Because you get the tentacles, which is they get D3 attacks each turn at strength 5, doing AP -2, damage 1. That's not that. That's all right. But the point I'm trying to make is
the problem is if they also got disgusting resilience, you'd have to jack their price up.
Then jack the price up in Nurgle in a Death Guard army. That's not out of the. That's fine. I'm okay with that. Just the point I'm trying to make is there's so like why even bother with these units that can go in each army if you're not gonna fucking give them the chapter trait? What the hell? Okay, Hellbrutes should have disgusting resilience. What the hell is the point of these things not fucking having disgusting resilience when it's the whole chapter's gimmick.
Balancing. It's balancing.
Then
Discussing
up
resilience is an
then up the points.
extremely powerful. Yeah.
Up the
They'd have
points.
to, up the, they'd
That's
have to
the point.
really up the points.
And that's my point. Just up the amount of points the unit's worth. I'm okay with that. But excuse me, essentially you have these fucking useless units that you cannot use, even, and they can't have the ability of the Legion they're under. That's fucking dumb. Just up the points. Like you can do that. Black Legion. Some units are more expensive because they're elites, or they're entire elite units. Okay, the sorcerer is, I believe, is already in HQ. Okay, I don't fucking know. Just up its points.
Sorcerer's in HQ.
That's another thing. The unit essentially is like a lieutenant. They'll say reroll ones. Death Guard don't have a unit like that. It's Typhus, but he's a I believe he's a Lord of War. No, sorry, he's not. He's in HQ. He's in HQ. Sorry, but we only have Typhus.
But also, I think doesn't Typhus only give that to, what are they called?
Poxwalkers, yeah.
To Poxwalkers too.
Chaos Lords are what the Black Legion have. I don't believe Thousand Sons get it. But Chaos, well, no, they get it, but they don't use it because they have
they have sorcerers.
And they have sorcerers, so it doesn't even matter. Chaos Lord essentially lets you reroll ones, and like Black Legion and Army, that's mandatory. But in Death Guard, guess what? It doesn't have fucking disgusting resilience. Just up. I'm okay with. I get that you'd have to up the points. I'm fine with that. But give us fucking disgusting resilience. That way the shit makes sense. The Hellbrute not having it is especially stupid, in my opinion. Also, basically any vehicle.
A Hellbrute would have to be very expensive, in my opinion.
I'm fine with that. Basically any vehicle that is shared between the legions. Actually, I think Hellbrute does have it, so I'm wrong about that. But any vehicle. Let me just look this up, okay? Chaos Land Raider, Chaos Predator, Chaos Vindicator, Defiler, any of the shit, all the shared vehicles don't have it. That's dumb.
A Defiler with it would be fucking disgusting.
Yeah, that's the point. But I'm fine with that. Up the points. This will lead to my next point, but up the points for them and give them disgusting resilience. It's dumb they don't have it, and what it does is it makes them weaker than everything else in the army. It makes them focused faster. And then they just fucking die. The reason they need disgusting is that way they're on par with everything else. We also don't have any fucking flyers, which I don't care about that much.
I mean, a lot of armies don't have flyers.
Still, it's dumb that we don't have this stuff. I get the Chaos Rhino, because I don't even give a shit about the Chaos Rhino. But it's dumb we don't have this. The only thing I'm okay with not getting it, the Hellforged Leviathan Dreadnought. That's fine. I don't care about that one.
That's a Forge World model too.
Well, yeah, but you can still use it.
Well, you can if your opponent lets you. Because Forge World has a lot of different, a lot of nuances.
The Hellforged Leviathan Dreadnought is even it's in the Codex. You're allowed using it.
I know, but the thing is that it's
Leviathan.
It's an unofficial rule. It's an unofficial rule.
No, Leviathan Dreadnoughts are just made by Forge World. That's it. They're not like you're allowed using them in 40k. No questions asked.
No,
you're fine with that. It's not like a Biotitan.
No, I know you're allowed. No, I know you're allowed. But the thing is, the reason that it's a different model and that it's actually cheaper is because it can have a lot of different weapons. It's the same reason that there's Relic Contemptor Dreadnoughts. Because Relic Contemptor Dreadnoughts can have twin las cannons and
I know.
dual assault cannons on top of them.
Hellforged Leviathan Dreadnoughts are allowed. There's no question about that. Again, a Biotitan is different. A Biotitan, Squiggoth, and all them are different from a Leviathan Dreadnought because every faction has if it's Space Marine related has a Dreadnought. They're a Forge World Dreadnought they're allowed using. Anyway, that's the end of my rant. I just think that these units, because Death Guard is already a high point model or a high point army.
Yeah,
just fucking give them
disgusting resilience.
To give an idea, also the Demon Princes have disgusting resilience. Also,
yeah, but that's a Demon Prince.
Still, anyway, moving on now. The next thing the next thing I want them to do is in the Codex. There's the Death Guard have all these different plague companies, like the Lords of Silence and so on, and some of them specialize in different things. Like some specialize in using Poxwalkers, like Typhus does that. There's some that specialize in using specifically demon engines, like blight haulers and bloat drones. Like they use that kind of stuff and stuff.
Are bloat drones demon engines?
Yeah, they're literally drones with demons shoved inside.
Okay.
So are blight haulers. Blight haulers are just broken bloat drones.
Yeah.
And I want each plague, because basically every faction has this, where you choose like a sub faction to give a buff. Pretty much every faction has this. I wouldn't mind it. Like for example, if one of them with Poxwalkers get increased movement or something, or maybe demon engines get +1 to hit or something like that, or the disgusting resilience gets low, or something like that. Or if this actually would work better. For demon engines, if you choose this one faction, demon engines get disgusting resilience. I'd like that. I just want Death Guard. Death Guard are in a good spot, but fantastic. They have issues, and I'd like them fixed. Then again, like fucking every Chaos faction needs to be fixed, with the exception of Thousand Suns at this moment. And there's a lot more I want to happen before that. That being
I have my own problems with Thousand Suns that I'll probably get into.
We're not getting into that because it's just not good.
Well, it's next week's video is the one that's gonna be on Siege.
Oh boy.
But yeah, like I'm gonna share my opinion on Thousand Suns because it's
very controversial opinion. That's not. We're not getting into it, but the very controversial opinion that I don't really.
Essentially, I have a problem with what I call it's like single track armies, which is just armies that are good at one thing and then steamroll with that one thing.
Yeah, but we're not getting into this. We'll get into this later.
Yeah.
Anyway, so moving on. I'm not done yet.
Yeah.
So that'd be a good incentive to use Death Guard. The thing is, though, I know that every faction is getting a boost in Psychic Awakening. They've even said this. Every faction, everything. So actually, I'm gonna check. Like I'm gonna actually go through what factions we haven't seen support for yet.
So, we haven't seen support for. We've seen Chaos.
Hold on. So here's what we've gotten for. Okay. Here's what we haven't got so far. Okay. So every faction. So we haven't seen anything for Custodes yet. I'm gonna also anything. Just kind of rule out the Adeptus Sororitas. They're probably not getting anything.
Yeah, because they came out with Psychic Awakening.
Yeah, and then I'm also gonna rule out any of the new chapters that just got the codexes, like Salamander, and so on.
Yeah.
Anyway, so here's what we haven't gotten chapter 4. We haven't gotten Adeptus Custodes. Anything for Adeptus Custodes? We haven't gotten anything for Deathwatch. We haven't gotten anything. Sorry, I'm just trying to scroll through this here. We haven't gotten anything for Ultramarines. Although they
Ashram Militarum.
Ashram Militarum, yeah, they did in the Greater Good.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, that was them. It was them, Gene Suez, and Tau.
Oh yeah, true.
We did technically get something for Chaos Space. Nothing for Death Guard.
Nothing for Thousand Suns. Oh no, we did get stuff for Thousand Suns.
We haven't got anything for Necrons.
Yeah.
So we haven't got Necrons, Death Guard. I'm excluding stuff coming up too. So Necrons, Death Guard, Ultramarines, Deathwatch, and that's it.
Well,
and
there's like White Scars as well, but those are some of the more niche chapters.
That's what I'm saying. They got they just got.
Oh yeah, true, because they did just get their codex.
Yeah. So I'm not going to count that. Yeah, so those 5. Now, what I do kind of hope happen, because technically Chaos got their thing with Faith and Fury, which cluster. Black Templars were broken for a while, for the week before they got FAQ'd. What happened?
Really?
Do you know what happened?
No.
Basically, in Faith and Fury, since they technically got their own supplement, what happened was nowhere in the codex did it say, because since their Black Templars are a successor chapter, fists, Nowhere in the Codex, in Faith and Fury, did say they couldn't use the Imperial Fists successor chapter supplements. So for a week, they could essentially, you know how Space Marines go on each turn, they switch to a different doctrine?
Yeah.
But some armies have a way around that, like Ultramarines can just skip right to doctrine, right to their specific doctrine.
Yeah, like the tactical.
Essentially, Imperial Fists were great in the Devastation Doctrine and I believe the Assault Doctrine. So for 2 turns, they had 2 different buffs.
Oh god.
They could take relics from the Imperial. They could use their stratagems, warlord traits on top of their own. They could use their chants for their chaplains. It was ridiculous. And then, like the FAQ a week later, they are separate entities. They don't consider each other. They don't consider themselves a successor chapter of the Imperial Fists. They are not this. Shut up. We gotta fix it. Because I think they didn't realize, oh fuck, we probably should specify. So that happened. So yeah, one thing I kind of hope happens, they'll make Faith and Fury a lot more worth it. Because Faith and Fury, other than that, okay, it's in my opinion probably the weakest we've had.
100%
with Psychic Awakening. Because let me just, I'm just pulling up Psychic Awakening. So wait, I misspelled psychic.
Nice.
Okay.
Just like Psych Ike.
Yeah. So out of everything we've gotten in Psychic Awakening, we've gotten really good buffs, Thousand Suns, Grey Knights, and Dark Angels. We've gotten some really sweet stuff for Eldar in general, which nothing like make them overpowered, but some really nice stuff, like some really good stuff.
The Yanari.
Well, the Yanari didn't really get buffed at all.
No, but they existed.
Rules. Well, they got more clarified rules. They existed before.
Yeah, but they got their shit sorted out.
Oh, not even really. They're still in a bad spot. Blood of Baal. Fun fact: Harlequins got nothing in Phoenix Rising. They got nothing. Because the Harlequins are all right. Blood of Baal. We got some greats. We got Blood Angels got their Death Company intercessors, and Tyrannid's got a really great buff with being able to use Hive Fleet adaptations, which is just fucking great.
Fucking love them.
The only thing, and then greater good, Tau got fucking terrifying with their ability to like, if for one command point, just make it so that way when 2 battle suits fight this one model till the end of the game, they count as having 5 marker lights. If you know what those do. Do you know what marker lights do?
Not really.
Basically, a battlesuit can shoot marker lights at something. They do no damage, but essentially, the more a model has, the more like buffs you get. So, for example, +1.
Oh, okay.
You get to reroll failed wound rolls. You get to reroll ones. They get they get a stratagem in Greater Good where if you use a command point, 2 models shooting at that specific model count as it having 5 marker lights, which is the max.
Holy fuck!
So they get insane. It's just insane. On top of the fact that they got a relic that just makes that way a Tau Warlord. If something is within 6 inches of it and it's moving inches, that's just a.
And what? You cut out.
If a enemy model ends its movement within 6 inches of a relic, it essentially takes a mortal wound, which just destroys troop units.
I mean, I was looking at Genestealer armies, and I think it was Genestealer, I forget, but there was like this one model whose effect was basically like, oh, with this weapon you roll, what's it called? Like you would roll something and it would lower. Yeah, it was like however many models this, and I think it was Drukhari. It was like however many models this thing kills, you increase it by that much. No, it's how I'm really fucking up. It was like
Insect.
for however many wounds. I forget. It was like I think it was the poison weapons.
Yeah, those. Well, those just give a 4-up, like 4-up to wound guaranteed. I think.
No, it was something else.
No, it's that.
Or it might no, it might have been Gene Stealer weapon, or like a Gene Stealer weapon or something.
Gene Stealer's hold I don't think that's it because Gene you're thinking of poisoned weapons, right?
Oh no. No, it wasn't. It wasn't it. It was a Gene Stealer weapon. That how it worked is you would attack with it, and
Okay.
essentially you would roll. It dealt D6 wounds first of all,
Okay, that's
and
meh, but okay.
as a melee weapon with double
Still
user
meh.
strength, double user strength, AP -4.
That's good, but the damage is what's iffy.
No. But here's the thing: the reason is you deal 1d6, and then you roll a d6 for every single what's it called? You have to roll above a 2, and then it'll deal one, and then it'll deal like the damage, right? And then you get to re-roll, and you always have to roll a consequentially higher, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, until either all of the units in the model, all of the models in the unit die, or you fail a roll.
Okay, I check that.
It's the rock drill, I'm pretty sure.
The rock. Oh, the drill.
Yeah,
That's
the Gene Stealer drill.
I don't think the thing can move. I think.
Because like I know that only like what's it called? From what I remember, only like hybrids can have it.
Yeah, because I was gonna say like the drill A is its own mod, and B I was gonna say it's like Gene Stealers don't seem like they have great melee. Like they seem okay at it because their big gimmick is they can just like. Do you know that Gene Stealers can like pop it like for their like
Yeah,
they can
ambush. Yeah, they can ambush.
Yeah, but they can deep strike air quotes the first turn, not the second, and they can do it within like 6 inches.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Because it's supposed to be like the whole like, oh hey Ashmotum, your buddy there, Gene Stealer buddy, dead.
Yeah.
Anyway, so also fun fact, the Greater Good just came out. You hear
what?
Greater Good came out. I'll talk about that in a bit. But
anyway, oh yeah, they have there's the new Gene Stealer Gunslinger that looks sick.
Yeah, well he existed before.
Did he exist? I don't think he existed beforehand.
Yeah, he did. The only new model we got out of it was the other side.
No, I'm pretty sure we got the Gene Stealer, the Gunslinger's new.
No, he's not new. He existed before.
No, I'm 99%.
He got new tools. He existed before. He didn't get a new model. He existed before.
I am not sure because I saw his model on the pre-order section of GW's website.
Oh, they probably got. I don't know. Anyway, so point is, Faith and Fury was kind of. It did have one thing I did find funny, which was I think it wasn't the Warlord trait, but it was I think it was a Relic that did this. No, it was a Warlord trait. Essentially, it was called I Am Alfarius, where when the Warlord died, it would then you would then choose a random troop unit.
Oh my god, you're kidding me.
Let me look.
You choose a random troop and then they just become the new Warlord or something?
Yeah, it's the whole I Am Alfarius.
Yeah.
Alfarius. I need to find this thing because it's stupid. Let me find this. So, where the hell are you? Because it's so dumb and I love it. It's great. But like overall, stuff was okay, but nothing like outstanding that fixed anything. Night Lords are just pathetic. Can I just say that right now? They're pathetic. Because
Night Lords are and forever will be pathetic. Because
here's the thing: as awesome as they are, even in lore-wise, they're literally the only traded legion that if they're not, because unlike the Sons of Horus, which kind of just died, the Night Lords are still around, but they have no Primarch, they have no leader, they have no chapter master. They don't even worship a Chaos God, so they're just pirates. That's all they can do. And they will never be whole, because the only one they followed was Conrad Kurz, and they don't trust the Chaos Gods.
Yeah.
So they're just pathetic. So I Am Alfarius. So when you pick that as a Warlord trait, you randomly pick another warlord trait from Codex Chaos Space Marines, and if the model that had IML fire, the warlord, is destroyed, sorry, I can immediately pick another Alpha Legion character to get IML to get the random warlord trait, and then when that dies, it keeps going.
Oh my god!
So you just keep whatever random warlord trait going.
Just IML Farius, IML Farius, IML Farius, IML Farius.
Yeah, it's like I love the Alpha.
Speaking of Alfarius, have you seen his Forge World model?
I have not.
It is beautiful.
What about his brother?
I mean, I am Alfarius.
Well, he basically when he died, he told his brother, "You are now Alpha," because they were twins.
Yeah, I know, but they don't have one for Omegon. Of course not.
Well, because Alfarius is the Primarch. He looks old as shit.
Well, no one really knows what Alfarius looks like. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, because he could have been Omegon. I love how no one really knows. Apparently, Gilliman killed him, but even he's like not sure if it was. He has no fucking clue.
Yeah,
because it's so confusing. I find it hilarious how the Alpha Legion are just so nothing about them. You don't even know who their leaders are.
They might not even be like heretical anymore.
Yeah, like because they just might want you to think that. Like, there's literally, I think they call it in the novel Sons of the Hydra. There's a traitor Marine who is part of a Alpha Legion warband who are still loyal to the Imperium. They're just killing the weak who they think are weak. So, your chapter, you're weak, we're going to kill you because we don't think you can help the Emperor. And not to mention, we don't even know if they worship the Chaos God. Maybe they do. Maybe they just think that. You have no fucking clue. Actually, do you know my favorite, like, small lore thing that happened?
What?
With them? So, do you know what Imperium Secundus is?
Imperium what?
Secundus.
Yeah.
Like, how was the second Imperium? It was like, Gilliman announces Imperium 2.
Yeah.
So during that whole thing, when Gilliman found Imperium Secundus in Ultramar, and how he could, because they were cut off from Terra.
Yeah.
So there were a few legions they were stuck with. The Alpha Legion and not technically the Night Lords. Technically, just Conrad Kurz popping up every once in a while. Like, he just pop up every once in a while being a dick. But essentially, what happened was Gilliman was chilling in his office because, of course, he had a fucking office. He was chilling in his office, just going over paperwork because, of course, he did. And in walks who he's like, oh, my close friends, my generals. In walks these Ultramarines, and then they're actually not Ultramarines; they're Alpha Legion who just stole their armor. Then they just whip out their bolters and start firing at Gilliman. But since he's a pro, he has like enhanced reflexes. So guess what he fucking does?
What?
He picks up the table and blocks the shots with it, and then like fires back and kills them all. But one of my favorite details about this is how the hell did they get into the palace without talking? Because they obviously aren't them. And second, the fucking desk Gilliman used to block the shots, which is a fucking wooden desk. It was just a desk.
That would not block bolter rounds.
No, so he just fucking flips this. It flips this fucking desk, wooden desk, blocks the shots, and then goes after them. And like, I don't care if you're fucking pro. You can't will wood to block bolter rounds. Oh,
I mean, it's Gilliman.
Yeah, the ultra Smurf himself.
Smurf God.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Dude, Gilliman is Papa Smurf.
Oh, that'd be great. I would love to do that to a Gilliman model, but I don't have enough. I can't bring myself to.
Dude, Gilliman's like $80.
Yeah.
I'm not about to buy it just to meme.
Yeah, I'm the only Primarch I'd buy is more because he's expensive. Actually, at my local, I was making a joke with you, and I basically the joke was he was like, "Oh, you should definitely get college and what want me to do?" He said, "Hey, you can fish for food. There's a pond. You got a pond. Just spear fish. It's worth it for a Mortarian."
Honestly, he ain't wrong.
Mortarian's great.
Mortarian's a sexy lad.
He's probably like either my favorite or second favorite mod. Up
Yeah.
there with Abaddon. But yeah, so Fate of Fear is a little disappointing. They also missed their chance to fix Iron Warriors currently because it's dumb. Here's what I want them to do. I want them. Apparently, it's rumored that they're making codexes for Emperor's Children and Corn and
please.
Because here's the thing, I get having World Eaters, Iron Warriors, Night Lords, and Alpha Legion just in a group codex, or just getting supplements. I'm fine with that. But World Eaters and Emperor's Children kind of need their own codex because, unlike the other guys, which kind of just do it, they worship chaos gods. They have a demon. They all have demon primarchs. I mean, so do Iron Warriors, but that's dumb.
Well, so do Word Bears as well, but those are two very weird cases.
They're very weird cases, and not to mention they're general. These are armies with specialized units that have specialized rules and worship a demon god, and worship a chaos god. That's very different to just these armies that don't really do that. The Word Bearers worship every god. The Iron Warriors don't even really care. Some do, some don't. Night Lords just straight up don't give a fuck. It's different for them not to have a codex. That I understand. Just giving them supplements. But World Eaters and Emperor's Children kind of need them because they're two of the biggest chaos factions currently.
Yeah,
ridiculous that they don't have them. They need them. They need them. Out of the two, I would kind of prefer World Eaters to come first because I think that's the easiest to come out.
Yeah, Slanesh needs a lot of work.
Slanesh needs a lot of work in general. I'm not even going to get into how Emperor Noise Brains are pretty terrible in a meta where a lot of things just ignore cover.
Yeah,
they're not worth their points. Noise Brains are not worth points, and their shitty version of Hellbrute isn't worth it either.
The Sonic Hellbrute?
Sonic
Dreadnought.
Yeah, it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
Chaos in general needs a lot of work. World Eater. Apparently, it's rumored that there's going to be a box coming out that's World Eater, kind of like Dark Imperium. That's World Eaters versus Space Wolves, and apparently it's going to have Angron and Lehman Russ come back. That's rumored. I don't.
Dude, you know that if that happens, I'm literally screaming.
Yeah, I know. I'll remember that. It'll be interesting. I don't know. It's going to be interesting if that happens. In general, the other thing is if they give, if any faction were to get a supplement, give it to Iron Warriors because their stratagems and shit make no fucking sense.
Iron Warriors are just kind of shit right now.
Well, because it's weird how they work. Their whole lore-wise, they use Demon Engine, the opposite to Imperial Fists. What I find weird is that currently the best strategy you have with them is just loading them up with tons of cultists, and if they're near an HQ, you can just use a command point, and those cultists don't deal with leadership. That's so weird. Yeah, it's good. It's a good strategy because you can just have this horde of cultists. But it's they're Iron Warriors. They make demon engines. What?
Not just that, but they also have they're basically just Chaos Iron Hands.
Yeah, well, Chaos Imperial Fists. And it's to give it an idea, they also don't even like Chaos because if they start seeing they're mutating, they just cut whatever it is off and amputate it.
Yeah, and replace it with mechanical.
Yeah, by the way, that's why I'm saying they're not like Imperial. They're not like Iron Hands because Iron Hands think flesh. Imperial, the Iron Warriors just do it because they don't want to be turning to Chaos.
Yeah,
that's why they also don't use. That's why they also don't use Possessed. They don't. Because they just don't allow it.
Yeah,
it's so dumb. Also, they got to fix that. Night Lords, I don't even know if you can fix them because I don't even. They're just terrible.
You can fix them, but a lot of work.
Yeah, because they got nothing at all.
If anything, because their whole shtick is terror. So they'd be an army that's supposed to like deal with like leadership, like really lowering leadership.
Yeah, that'd be good, and maybe like some deep striking.
Yeah.
Like be the chaos version. That's what they are, essentially. They're
Either
supposed
what?
to be that.
You cut out.
They're supposed to be the chaos version of Raven Guard.
Yeah.
I know Conrad Kurz can never come back, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, Conrad Kurz is
very
dead.
He's very dead.
And he died in such an emo way.
He got decapitated by an assassin.
No, he got decapitated. He let her kill him basically just to prove a point.
Well, to prove he was right, yeah, because he had vision.
Yeah.
What else? But yeah, the other thing I think. Well, I was about to say something. Yeah, Emperor's Children also just. I don't like Lucius.
Oh no, the model for Lucius is horrible. The lore for him is badass.
I'm not even talking about the model for him. The lore for him, I just don't like.
Why?
Well, because he's basically like, oh, if you even killing him, he comes back and possesses you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting because he did that to a Necron, which was interesting. If you knew,
think how the hell did he turn a Necron into like something organic?
Well, because basically what happened was
it's a lot of chaos fuckery.
Yeah, he also does flesh crafting. Basically, what happened was he killed this Necron, killed him, and then it enjoyed because it was a Necron duelist. Because remember, some Necrons have like personalities.
Yeah.
It killed him and enjoyed doing it, and he was like, oh, "I'm back." Also, I kind of get why there's like next to no Emperor's Children novels. There's only like 2, one being about Lucius and one being about Fabius.
Fabius?
Fabius. Fabius isn't even a like I'm talking just 40k. Like there is a 30k novel, but it's about Fulgrim falling.
Yeah.
The thing is, because Fabius and Lucius are like kind of tame, because Fabius just clones shit and Lucius just murders the shit out of things. Yeah. Every other faction, every other member, mostly, like, if you see Emperor's Children in a book, like, my favorite one is Telemachon. Telemachon? Yeah, Telemachon from Talon of Horus. Because he's a duelist who enjoys killing. He's a very pristine duelist who has a very prim and proper face. You almost couldn't tell he even failed the K. He's very elegant. And he's just a duelist. And that's his big thing. He enjoys killing. And it's kind of like a turn on for him. But that's it. A lot of other Emperor's Children are very rapey and shit.
Yeah.
So the issue
Isn't that one story where basically they're in the middle of battle and then they just like fuck off just to go do that kind of shit?
No, you're thinking of Siege of Terra where they fucked off. That's what it was.
Yeah, Siege of Terra.
Yeah, the real issue that comes with this is that how do you write a story about a faction that's so fucked up without A, upping the rating of it, and B, possibly causing issues for people who might have suffered horrendous things like that? The issue is you can't write something like that without being insensitive. Well, and it's not like a race joke or something.
Like, well, you can, because like Berserk does it pretty decently, but the problem is like how do you write it without like the censorship problem? Yeah,
the censorship problem. There's also the fact that 40k just goes to the extreme, and it's the fact that like for them, the Emperor shouldn't go to such an extreme. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, how do you cannot accurately write or represent that faction in any way without getting the hell sounds out of it. Like, you can't do it. It's
you're gonna get like someone's gonna get mad at, be it the fans of the what's it called, of the Emperor's Children, or the people that are against what you're writing about.
Yeah, which it's not like some dumb like people getting mad for nothing. There's a lot of reason for people to get mad if you full on write or animate or whatever what the Emperor's Children are
and do.
People are going to get mad, and not even for an unjustified reason. They are fucked up.
Yeah.
There is no way to
They are that. The most, I'd say the most fucked up faction in 40k. Yeah. When it comes to the more like morally like ambiguous shit, they take the cake.
Yeah, because there's no salvation for them. They're like, there's no way to possibly be like, ambiguity here. Like they are very much messed up. There's no,
and that's their
playing it.
appeal. It's their insanity is the appeal for the army.
Yeah, one thing I do kind of wish is that what they probably can do, if you're to show, because the Emperor shouldn't have that very like messed up side, but they also have the side that's just very perfectionist, like Telemachon.
Yeah,
you can do stuff like them because you can just be like they're very like into killing.
And the other thing is you could have them as villains, like antagonists in a story, but not as the protagonists. You know?
Yeah, which as I've been saying, like some of my favorite books in 40k are about chaos. That's why I love the books. And that's why I love the Black Library, because any novel, like the protagonist can be literally anyone. But the thing is, and I've been saying this, like, what if when 40k inevitably gets a movie or something, TV shows, when it eventually gets a movie, I'm excited for what they do with the chaos factions. But the thing is, you can represent them, all of them. Death Guard, you can make a horror movie about that. Like Lords of Silence would be a really great horror. I've read it. It would be a great horror movie, or just a thriller.
Likely a thriller. They wouldn't fit horror movie.
You sure? There's some pretty messed up scenes in there.
Well, yeah, but like
there's a scene where a guardsman, like general, is brought to the flagship, is brought to the ship of the leader of the Lords of Silence. And he's like, "Hey," it's like, "I'm the leader of the Lord of Silence." The guardsman's like, "Who are you? I'd never heard. Are you Space Marines? What are you?" Because remember, it's Imperium. So then they're like, "Well, see, we're the Death Guard. This is who we are." And he basically says there's a great many things you don't realize about this world. The Death Guard takes a sack out of his takes a pouch out of his belt, holds it in front of him, and he says, are you missing something?" The guardsman then opens his jacket and realizes his heart's missing. And he's alive. That would be a great thriller or
a thriller, not horror movie, in my opinion.
All right.
If anything, like a movie with like a thriller.
Talon of Horus would be a really good adventure movie. It's a great book.
A good horror movie would be Imperial Guard versus Tyranids.
That would be a good movie. There's gotta be some. I don't know the name of it, but the point is, a lot of their books can do it. Anything, and the thing is, you can do. Talon of Horus has an Emperor Children member named Telemachon, and he's just a perfectionist swordsman. You could do stuff like that. You cannot go Emperor's Children though. That's like impossible to do without like getting extremely insensitive and actually like. Now I'm talking about like people who are super sensitive and insulting. With Warhammer going more mainstream, you cannot do that because there are a lot of people in their lives who have suffered from horrific experiences that this would not help. These are actual issues, not just, oh, people can't take it. This is an actual issue that people have gone through and that have had horrible experiences with. You cannot, with Warhammer going more mainstream, you cannot do this. Slanesh is, in general, from what I've heard, has been a big issue for GW because they've had issues with, okay, we made this extreme goddess of excess and all this other shit. What the hell are we supposed to do? Apparently they were debating removing her, doing what AOS, which is like killing her off.
Yeah.
But they're not going to, which I'm happy about that. I don't want them to.
I'd be pissed off if they did, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't want them to, but I do know that they're trying to take her in a different way, which I'm fine with. More so, I'm okay with them trying to take it in a different way, especially with. But yeah, we went into a long tangent of Faith and Fury.
Yeah.
Because we didn't get to our last piece of news. We didn't. So our last piece of after that, like probably hour-long tangent. Weirdly enough, talking about this. A new Warhammer animated TV show was announced. It's so far been called Animated Heroes. We don't have an official name. But essentially it's going to be a 2D animated anthology show. Just basically about various characters in Warhammer universe. It doesn't look to like be any like big names. It's just more supposed to be like small stories. we haven't really got announced of what's going to be happening or who's behind. Or sorry, we actually do. We know the first episode is going to be done by Smiley, who's a Black Library author. He did what? He's a Black Library author. He's done stuff such as Death Shepherd, Call of Chaos, Trial by Blood, a lot of mainly Imperial stuff, like a lot of Blood Angels too. He's behind the first episode, so we can probably expect some Blood Angel stuff. A casting call did recently go out for different for voice actors, which is good. We don't know much. All we have really some concept art, some of which being, for example, we got some concept art of 3 Inquisitors, one with in a massive suit of armor and sword, one just a woman in armor, and then a dude looking fucking like he's from Victorian England. We got something of what looks like to be a Necromunda ganger. We got one of an assassin. I don't remember what it's called. The ones that change shape. Let me look that up real quick. But the shape-shifting ones.
Yeah.
What are they called?
There's actually another faction that I wish we... What?
The Calidus Assassin.
Yeah. There's actually another faction that I wish would get a little bit more attention. The Officio Assassinorum is amazing.
They got... Well, yeah, they're great still. They're meant to be like something that goes... There's meant to be like the Harlequin kind of thing, which is in with Imperial Guard or any other faction. They also do get buff. They never really had any issues. They're still used. They're fun. Like, you can still see people using them. They're perfectly fine. As a side note, the Calyxus Assassin, I hate. With a burning passion.
Why?
Anti-psyker.
Oof.
But only in close range. So what happened, he was testing his Death Watch army. He essentially... he deep striked it on his second turn. And I was keeping my Warlock at the back. He then... Not my Warlock. I was keeping my Farseer at the back because she was my Warlord. He charged it. And like that, I couldn't use Psychic Powers for so long because it had so much health. And also, it basically made it so I could only... Shooting-wise, on a 6-up. That was the only way to hit it, is with a 6-up.
Oh my fucking god.
And that's for both melee and shooting, so that was fun. And she essentially locked 3 Wraith... She locked 5 Wraith cards into melee. So, anyway. And also, Assassin's got a buff in the Greater Good.
Mm.
Nothing major, because the Assassinorum is already very fucking strong. So, they're special. They're really good. Anyway. So, yeah, the intelligence... So, then... What looks to be a... Eldar with some and a sniper rifle. And then from there, we also just got what looks like a man in a chair. So no real word as to when this is happening. Apparently it's going to be shown at Adepticon, which is going to be... Well, it's going to be shown at Warhammer Fest, as well as Adepticon, which is the US equivalent. But yeah, so far it looks like it's going to be very interesting. Some of it apparently was shown, or some of it were during that proof of concept they did a while ago to show off Angels of Death. But yeah, I'm really excited for how much war is happening. Because as far as I know, other than that, I kind of wish we got more 4K games, but as far as I know, the only movie we got was a movie about 2 Ultramarines going to rescue an Imperial Fist. That was apparently terrible.
It's hard to get 40K right in media. This is for books.
Yeah, except I don't know why, like, 2 Ultramarines saving an Imperial Fist. So weird. I've seen the animation for it. It's actually...
It's what? You cut out.
The voice acting's terrible, and it just looks terrible. We might... I actually was going to suggest this. We might just do a video commentary of it. I don't know. Depends on when our schedules match up.
Yeah.
We might have some other people along for the ride. I don't know.
Hopefully.
We'll see. Let me see. What is it called? What is it? What is it called? It was literally just called Ultramarines.
Great name.
Yeah, it was
It's
like,
almost as legendary as 40k Space Marines.
yeah,
Honestly, though, Space Marines is a phenomenal fucking shooting game. Like, it's a really good third-person shooter.
as weird as his name as it has, as bad as name. But yeah, it's literally just called Ultramarines. A Warhammer 40,000 movie in the tagline, and we shall know no fear.
Oh, such an original tagline.
See, it's cool in like some things. This isn't like, I'm trying to figure out who directed it. It had a 3-star rating.
Oh my god.
It was released in 2010. Sorry, 5.6 out of 10. Director is Martin Pick, like Martyn.
Mm.
The screenplay was done by Dan Abnett. What the hell? What the fuck? He's like, just give it an idea. Dan Abnett is one of my favorite authors in the Black Library. Wait, hold on, let me just... Like, I fucking love him. What the fuck? I didn't even notice that. What the fuck? He fucking wrote the screenplay? to give an idea, he's behind, like, let me just find a good idea. He's behind the... hold on.
Say Towns of Horse, I'm gonna flip my shit.
Not Talons of Horus. He's behind a shit ton of stuff in the... He's behind a shit ton of stuff in Horus Heresy books. He's behind the, I think, I Am Slaughter.
Which book is that?
That's the first book in the War of the Beast.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to find it. Shit. Like, he's behind a lot of shit. He's behind Horus Rising. The first book in Horus Heresy. He's just behind so much stuff. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing writing this screenplay? To be fair, it doesn't matter how good a script you get. Well, to be fair, it doesn't matter how good a screenplay you have. If directing shit, then that doesn't matter.
True.
The director...
But let's get on, though, because we gotta talk about something important.
I need to know what else this guy has done. So I'm looking. It's the filmography for this.
Locust, we must talk about the next part.
No, I need to know about... I need to know what the hell else he's done. What has he done? Okay, hold on. So... he has done... Okay. So he's done such movies as Signature, Bug, Gridlock, Play to Win, Plaza, Chicago 10, The Age of Stupid, Antique Secrets, Fantastique, Felicie, Women of 1915, and Coupe 53. Those are his animation in terms of ways directed. He's directed Taboo of Dirt, Signature, Logo Loco, Pug, Gridlock, Play to Win, Plaza Green, Meat and Electricity, London, Ultramarines, a Warhammer 40,000 movie, Evil Never Dies, Shudan Trailer, Blue Moon, Felicie / Funhouse, Blood Clots, Heckle, and then 2 movies, Never Too Late for Love, the pre-production, and Distress Call, pre-production. I'm sorry. Also, a fun fact, a lot of these shit he's written and produced and done the art for. Why the fuck would you have this guy do it? Also, none of this shit seems like a sci-fi movie. This random-ass guy in this movie. This movie also had fucking John Hurt in it. John Hurt was in this. Terrible movie. I'm sorry, what? I mean, the whole movie only has 1, 2, 3, 5. This whole movie only has 9 voice actors, by the way. 9 actors.
Oh my god.
Has 9 actors in the whole thing. John Hurt seems to... I guarantee, like, the budget is entirely... Because, like... I'm sorry. There's also apparently a makeup department and a makeup artist in this animated movie. I don't get it. What the fuck? How did this happen? So to get John Hurt, by the way, he doesn't even play the fucking captain. He plays someone called Brother Karnak. I don't. Yeah, so Pertwee, Stephen Waddington. I don't know. Yeah, a lot of these people, just random side, like older actors.
Lucas, we are getting sidetracked. We have to go on.
This whole thing has been sidetracked.
True, but there's a part that I'm really fucking excited to talk about, and you know what it is.
Yes, it is.
Yes, I do.
Okay, fine. I'll stop my rants. Point is, you can probably expect a commentary video about this. How long is this movie? Yeah, I need those movies. Hold on. How long is it? You can probably expect a watch of a commentary video about this. I'll find out. Like, how long is this movie? It's an hour and 10 minutes.
It's pretty small.
Yeah.
I don't even think that's feature length.
It is. And here's the plot summary. A squad of Ultramarines responds to a distant planet's distress speak and only discover a horrific evil has been unleashed. Okay, that's the most vague 40k shit you can say. And
that's the most basic 40k plotline.
Like, I'm not even upset that they did Ultramarine. I'm just upset that it's, like, so boring and the animation looks terrible. Like, who the fuck was like, yes.
1 sec.
Okay, I gotta do so much editing on this.
All right, we're moving on to the info dump of the week.
Yeah, of possibly mostly wrong lore. Yeah.
Shut your mouth. All my lore is 100% correct in the eyes of the shitpost chaos gods. So
in the eyes of 1D4chan, yes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm probably gonna mostly be silent for this. I'm just gonna let him rant about corn. If you excuse me.
So, as we said on the first episode, how long ago was that? 3 weeks ago?
3 weeks ago, and I choked on water.
Nice. So, as we said 3 weeks ago, what we're going to be doing as a little celebration thing, and for the start of our very chaos-themed podcast, is we will be going over the lore of the original 4 chaos gods, well, the first 4 chaos gods.
Yeah, because there are others, the main 4.
There is the main 4. We might do a 5th video, because on the 5th podcast might
after basically what we're going to do is we're going to do a lore dump for the 4 chaos gods first, and then from there it'll just can be kind of like whatever. We probably will talk about the other chaos gods that exist, because there are other ones, like the chaos god of the god of the greater good.
One that we are 100% talking about is Malice. Or Malal, depending on how much you care about copyright.
Malice. His name's Malice.
Malal is his name as well. Or like Malik or something.
People just call him Malice. No one calls him.
I know, because there's Malice, but then there was a problem with the people who GW paid to write the story, and there was a whole problem with the whole copyright thing. So they had to change the name. So they changed it from like Malice to like Malal or something like that. Like Malik.
But no, it's one of those things where still.
Yeah, most people know him as Malice. Yeah.
Yeah, like not even like if you read lore, it's gonna be like it's Malice.
Yeah. Anyway. So, as we're doing the gods in order, which is why today we're covering Khorne, the second oldest god of chaos, who was technically pooped into existence. I think 10 years, like 10 or 100 years from now. Because Nurgle was written around the turn of the decade, around the beginning of
Nurgle was born in the 20th century.
Yeah. Oh, no, yeah. And then Khorne was born in the 21st. That's what it was. Nurgle and Tzeentch was born in the 21st. Very close together.
I believe so. I know Slaanesh was born towards a little bit before she was born a little bit like
before the 30th millennium.
She was born like a little bit before the Great Crusade, because her birthing the Eye of Terror essentially allowed the Emperor to perform the Great Crusade.
Yeah. So, Khorne is the god of skulls, the god of blood, war, violence, dismemberment. Anything to do with hacking a corpse up into bits, it's your boy Khorne doing the shits.
If blood flows, he's happy.
Yes. So, Khorne is honestly my favorite fucking chaos god, just for the amount, he is the literal embodiment of man literally too angry to die. Those are all of his followers.
You said that about what's his name too?
Angron?
Not Angron. You said that about Dante. Dante wants to die.
Dante is more like man literally too willful to die.
Yeah, but he wants to.
Well, he wants to, but he also, because the reason he wants is because there's the whole prophecy thing. But we'll get to that when we talk about Dante and the Blood Angels. So, Khorne, my boy, big bloody papa boy. Okay, let me take this more seriously. So, honestly though, Khorne is, like I said, the god of like anger, hatred, violence, bloodshed, anything that is to do with beating someone up. It's Khorne.
Not to mention, he's also very he's very like heroic in a way, because he's all about like facing your enemies head on. He's not
heroic, courageous. Essentially, if you don't look danger in the eye and call it a bitch, Khorne hates you.
Yeah.
Which is why Khorne hates 99% of Psykers. It's why Khorne army, Demons of Khorne armies have no Psykers.
Generally.
They don't. Only in lore, not in game.
No, I know, but I'm saying like, yeah, in lore, like some of them will have them, but even then, those Psykers.
Yeah.
Just putting demons in people.
Yeah, in game you don't have any psychic units, and World Eaters actually can outrun sorcerers. I'm pretty sure.
I think they can just because it's in the Chaos Space Marine book, but they don't have their own psychic table.
Yeah, I really don't think they do. But
it's like they probably just take from the general list, which
likely. So with Khorne, the boys that he's in charge of are the World Eaters. The story of the World Eaters is actually very tragic, and a lot of people don't know about it. Essentially, their Primarch Angron was sent to a planet. I don't quite recall.
He wasn't sent. You
know what I mean.
Basically, when
he was sent by the Chaos Gods.
The Chaos Gods scattered their capsules. Essentially, Angron got kicked onto this planet.
Yeah, because when the Emperor made the Primarchs, the Chaos Gods were like, we don't like them. That's not good for us. So they scattered them, and a lot of them got put into really good places. Gilliman was raised as a god, basically.
Well, he was raised a noble and found his own empire.
Yeah, like he was raised a noble. Leman Russ gained the respect of his people, and a bunch of other Primarchs did very well. Angron grew up a slave. I think it's fair to say Angron and Conrad Kurz had the worst upbringings out of the Primarchs.
Conrad Kurz just basically was murdering people his whole life.
Conrad Kurz was basically a feral child, and I love him for it, but I hate who he becomes.
Okay.
So, Angron is taken as a slave. He is trained as a gladiator his entire life, and he was seen as the most powerful gladiator. So what he did with his other gladiators is they all staged a coup where in the next big fight that would essentially be like a battle royale for the gladiators, they were all just gonna break out of there. So they staged the coup, they break out, and
spoiler alert: the Angron secretly ninja.
Yes.
Go read Ninja's horrible comic.
Oh my Christ! No, we're not advertising that shit. We don't advertise that in my presence.
He has a comic series.
Oh my god, I I saw Pyrocynical's video on it.
Terrible.
If you don't want to read it, but you still want to know what the comic is like, go watch Pyrocynical's video. Shout out to my man.
Don't buy it.
Don't.
buy it.
So,
Good
continuing.
art, though. Okay.
Decent art. Continuing.
The artist is at least good.
Okay, yeah. So, with Angron, he and all of the boys break out, and they start hiding in the mountains. What they do is they start going from city to city, destroying gladiator places and getting the gladiators and the slaves out and raising them as their own, right? So, this group with Angron as its leader are known as the Eaters of Cities. The problem is that they have a specific hideout, which is in these mountains. And when the cities of this planet figure out where that is, they send in their entire army. And they surround them, saying like, hey, surrender or you're dead. Around the same time, the Emperor came to Angron and told him, you're going to join me. Because he was reclaiming his Primarchs, and he said, hey, you're going to join me. Like, I have this army for you. At the time, they're called the Hounds of War. I have the Hounds of War for you. All of that stuff. Or maybe it was the War Dogs. Something like that. The thing is...
I think it's probably Hounds of War. That makes more sense.
Yeah. So the thing is, Angron was the only Primarch to straight up say no to the Emperor.
I mean, others did too.
No. What I mean by that is the only two others that did were Lehman Russ and Lionel Johnson. However, they didn't say no. They said, if you can beat me in a contest.
What about Vulcan? Vulcan did the same thing.
Yeah, they all challenged them to contests. Angron decided, no, fuck off, I want to stay on my gladiators. He was the only one to outright deny him in that sense. Like an outright denial, not something where he said, if you can convince me to join you, if you can prove to me that you're better than me, I'll join you. Angron just went, no. Yeah, it was a hard no. What happened after that is all of the cities started charging the Eaters of Cities, and the Emperor back on his ship was like, I'm not having this, I'm not letting Angron die, so he teleports Angron mid-battle back into his ship.
Like a dick.
Causing all of the gladiators to lose morale since their leader disappeared, and they all die, and they're massacred. Angron was so mad that he killed everybody that was around him. Anyone that would come close to Angron, he would slaughter them.
And then he pretty much was just like, hey, you mind leave shoving the butcher's nails in you, because fuck all of you.
Not yet. At this point, he refused to even acknowledge the existence of the Hounds of War.
Okay.
Any time that they would come in to talk to him, they wouldn't come out. They'd be dead. Until Captain Karn shows up. Captain Karn comes into where Angron is and gets the shit beat out of him. But every time that he breaks an arm or loses another tooth or gets another scar, he grabs his axe, looks Angron, gets up and says, I'm not done. And after...
I'm sorry, Karn is my favorite thing because he just doesn't give a shit ever.
He does not. I love him. So...
he's great.
Karn keeps on going, and then eventually Angron is like, hey, you know what? I respect you guys. Like, you're a tough son of a bitch. You're almost like my gladiators. He could never put the gladiator incident aside. It was always a burn on him. Even so that he was very abusive to what he now named the World Eaters, because he was always like, oh, you are nothing like my gladiators. You do not bring honor to the name that you're given. I deserve better fighters. And eventually, what Angron had implanted in him as a gladiator were called the Butcher's Nails. They're essentially tubes that go straight into a person's brain. And what they do is whenever adrenaline starts pumping through the body, they'll also pump in serotonin to keep the person not happy or pleasured, but to keep pain at bay. So it's not like...
The
Butcher's Nails would hurt them, but the Butcher's Nails were made to, numb pain.
Okay, even though it hurts them.
Yeah.
But also gets them into a blood rage, too.
Yeah, the reason that it hurts them is not because of the Butcher's Nails themselves, it's It's not because of what the butcher's nails do. It's because of the fact that they're space marines with butcher's nails. Because butcher's nails were made to be used on humans, so they're not good at dealing with the intricacies of a like Astartes brain or a Primarch brain, which is worse.
Okay.
So what happens after is that he says you're all getting the butcher's nails put inside of you to suffer like I do. But the thing is, none of them opposed it. They all went for it. And even so, there's a very, very like sad part in the book where Karn is talking to another Chaos Space Marine once they've fallen. And I forget which chapter or group they're from. I don't think it's a legion. It's like a small legion. But essentially, that legion's whole shtick is that they're all possessed.
Warband.
It's a warband of
Probably.
the word bearers.
Because I was gonna say, yeah, word bearers. There are
Yeah.
some they're possessed in other ones, but it's usually word bearers.
Yeah, it's a warband of the word bearers. He's talking to their like champion, and the champion asks, like, why would you let your Primarch do that to you? That is horrifying. And he says, Angron lived so far away from us, and he had such a distant mentality, and he never allowed any of us to approach. We did it almost as a thing to bring us ever so slightly closer to him.
And
There was
Karn
something. No, that was something that would bring them a little bit closer to what Angron was and who he was as a person, so that they could at least know more about him. And then the guy from the champion goes like, God damn, that's actually true, because I let my Primarch possess me. I let my Primarch put a demon in me just because it was what happened with him.
Yeah. Actually,
So
basically, what happened with Angron is similar to what happened. Angron got screwed over more because Mortarion. Basically, what happened with Mortarion was
what happened with Mortarion is nothing compared to what happened to Angron.
Oh, I know, because what happened with Mortarion was basically, excuse me, Mortarion was about to kill his lifelong nemesis, like guy.
Well, he was trying to kill his lifelong nemesis, and the planet that he
and
was.
then the Emperor
those
popped.
people, like,
then
yeah.
the Emperor popped up, killed him, was like, "Yeah, you're done with this. Come with me." And then he took and then he took all his legion with him. And then the legion essentially just became the Death Guard. And he even got to incorporate.
Last week, I really feel like we should have gone more into the lore as well of Mortarion, because it's really interesting.
It is. I love Mortarion.
Mortarion is a phenomenal character.
His reasons for going traitor are petty, though.
Yeah, he had all of the traitors ones all got screwed over by the Emperor.
Yeah. Although to be fair, the ones that you can kind of argue could probably have not went traitor were okay. Porter Abo, I won't point this out. Porter Abo fell to chaos because he's a whiny baby.
Yeah, Porter Abo and what's his name? Well, I was gonna say Magnus, but no, Magnus made sense.
Mortarion technically also fell because he was just being petty.
Well, no. Mortarion.
He didn't really have a good reason. He just kind of did it because he was convinced.
Yeah, he was petty, but like
he was petty.
His ascension to demonhood is very tragic.
It's not really. Well, yeah, that part is. Anyway, so the demons I think they probably could have been avoided were probably Fulgrim. If he didn't get that stupid weapon.
Yeah, actually,
if he, weapon, he would have been fine. I think not really. If not really Angron, he probably could have been avoided.
Well, Angron literally like
Magnus
had his reasons. Magnus had his reasons.
Yeah, but it's because he was basically it kind of happened because of Horus. That's what I mean.
Well, it was two things with Magnus's fault. Because first, it was the fact that the Emperor made him to be the most powerful Psyker, but shamed him for being a Psyker.
Yeah,
while being a Psyker.
Yeah, the trial of Magnus the Red. If you know what happened with that.
The what?
Do you know what the trial of Magnus the Red is?
Yeah.
What is it?
From what I remember, it was like when wasn't it the thing when fucking Lehman Russ went to kill him?
No, that wasn't it. The trial of Magnus the Red was essentially when Magnus essentially because of Magnus doing some crazy shit, the Emperor was like, okay, Psychers in the Imperium can't use psychic abilities because we're fucking with the warp too much.
Yeah.
Chaplains gone. Librarians, you're now chaplains. Fuck off. No psychic abilities now. I can't do it because the reason this was because called Trial of Magnus the Red because he was bringing Magnus to trial for doing some like crazy shit that caused a tear.
Yeah.
So he basically
the
like
thing
no
with
more.
Magnus is Magnus was also a dumb idiot that like looked too deep into shit he shouldn't.
Yeah, but technically Magnus could have been avoided if Horus didn't influence Lehman.
Yeah,
Um,
because that was essentially the turning point.
and Fulgrim could have been avoided because if he didn't get that stupid weapon, he would have been fine.
Yeah, because
'Cause he
Fulgrim
got-
was
he got
also
the
made to
Vespa
be
weapon.
perfect. Because Fulgrim was also made to be perfect. He was made to seek perfection.
Not to mention he also just had the not to mention the reason he fell was because he got possessed by a demon.
Yeah. Well, he let a demon possess him.
Well, yeah, because he killed his brother. He killed Ferrus Manus.
Yeah. But I think the two Primarchs that had it worse are 100% Lorgar and Angron.
Lorgar, yeah, because of what happened to him.
Well, not just that, but also Lorgar was literally made to be the bearer of the word of the Emperor and essentially be like his priest, and then got trash-talked and absolutely humiliated whenever he would treat the Emperor like a god.
Well, no, the Emperor was like, okay, and then he's like made a whole city based around
Yeah, then
religion
he glassed his entire city.
with the Ultramarines.
Yeah. But anyways, back to Angron. After Angron fights Karn, he agrees, hey, I'm going to lead you guys, does the whole thing with the Butcher's Nails, but he never liked the Emperor. He never obeyed him. It took a lot of convincing to obey him. And
it's similar to Mortarion. Mortarion was just kind of petty, just like,
yeah,
fine.
And the problem with Angron as well is that the Butcher's Nails in his head constantly drove him more and more insane to the point where he never liked Psychers, and he would usually kill all of the Psychers. However, what he did is there were some Psychers left alive because what they would do is they would essentially calm Angron down with their psychic abilities. But the very important thing with Angron is that once Horus had his plan for the Heresy, he came in and basically was like, hey, Angron, are you in? Angron said yes immediately.
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
Yeah, literally just like, you son of a bitch, I'm in. So,
although, can I just point something out? Angron's a bit of when he ascended to demonhood, he was kind of an idiot. Can I just point that out? He's not bright.
Well, it wasn't he didn't turn himself into a demon.
No, I know he was gifted to be a demon. What I'm saying is, when at some point, I remember what the planet was, but he was assaulting a planet, and the Emperor, the world leaders were there. But essentially, what he did was he had an early lead because he summoned a shit ton of Coronate demons. But do you know what he didn't do beforehand?
What?
In order to keep demons around, they need to be worshipped, and to them.
Wait, no, that's significantly after his ascension, or that's someone else.
I know that's what I'm saying. No, that was him. Essentially, what happened was attacked the planet. Demons, it hurts them to be in the material realm, so they need to be worshipped and be given power. So he basically summoned a shit ton of Coronate demons, had a really good lead, and then he was like, "Fuck, I didn't build shrines to keep them around." So he had the world leaders build a shit ton of shrines to keep these demons there because he was a fucking dumbass and didn't do that beforehand.
That's after his ascension. That's not during his ascension.
I know. I'm just saying it was like he's not the brightest thing.
Yeah, he's insane. So what happens with Angron during his ascension, which was what I'm talking about? Essentially, during the Siege of Terra, Angron and Lorgar they lure away the Ultramarines.
I think they were demon princes at this point, though.
No, they weren't yet.
Well,
Lorgar became a demon prince. It's a recent occurrence that it's a 40k thing, not a 30k thing. That Lorgar became a demon prince. But
Angron did become a demon prince sooner, though. I think he was a prince during.
No, it was during the Siege of Terra. He lured the Ultramarines away from the siege. With Lorgar, they're fighting on this planet, and Angron's trying not to go insane because he wants to fight, but the Psychers are keeping him at bay. So what he does is he slaughters all of the Psychers, but during his rage, the building he was in collapses. And one of his axes was left out, which is why Karn has that axe. Karn took the axe thinking he was dead, and then went on a rampage.
I got this now.
What happened with Angron is that he wasn't dead, and Lorgar and Guilliman were fighting nearby. What happened with Angron is he exploded in anger out of the debris and started charging at Guilliman, giving Guilliman a really hard time. And while he was doing that, Lorgar was saying a chant, like in a dark language, like a chaos language. And essentially, after a while, these clouds started shrouding Angron, and all you heard from inside was him screaming, not like pain, but like violent, like pure hatred.
So basically, Lorgar was convincing Khorne to make him a demon prince.
Yeah, Lorgar turned him into a demon prince, and after that,
I think it was more so Lorgar convincing him. That's not a couldn't turn people into demon prince.
Well, you know what I mean. It was like
convincing Khorne, bringing Khorne to his attention.
But it's what I mean is it's Lorgar's fault. It's Lorgar's the one responsible for him being a demon prince. That's what I mean.
Okay.
So Angron becomes a demon prince, starts shrieking. That's when the demons start coming. Yeah. And then Guilliman is fucking shitting himself. He's terrified. He's never seen an enemy like this, and neither have any of his like armies. So they all retreated. They just haul ass out of there.
Fucking women.
And that's Angron. The funny thing is, Angron is actually only the second strongest demon prince of Khorne.
Who's the first? Oh, you're going to say Drakni. Oh no, Drakni. What?
Drakni? Yeah.
Drakni?
Not Drakni. 1 second. The strongest demon prince. I have to look him up because I can't remember his name. Where was it? Give me a sec. I'm trying to find his name. Doombreed. Doombreed was the greatest demon prince of Khorne. He was the first and the greatest demon prince of Khorne.
Doombreed.
It was what's it called? Doombreed became like a demon prince of Khorne before the Emperor even reunited humanity.
All right.
Like Earth was Earth, not Terra.
All right, but I don't think he was the first demon.
He was
first human to turn into a demon prince.
No, it was not. No, he was the first demon prince of Khorne.
Okay, because I was gonna say there's a demon prince who was demon. He was a demon prince of Chaos Undivided, who was just a regular human who ascended.
Yeah. No, the joke theory is that this guy is Warhammer 40k Genghis Khan.
Maybe.
The reason is because it's rumored that it happened around the Mongol invasion of China. He has a Mongolian beard.
Maybe he just straight up is Genghis Khan.
Yeah. So
that'd be great.
That's Khorne and that's Angron. Now, another story that I'm gonna say because love the boy to death. Skarbrand. It's quick. Yeah, Skarbrand is the strongest greater demon of Khorne, the strongest bloodthirster there is. And Skarbrand was actually Khorne's champion for a long time, second to Angron. And he was Khorne's favorite bloodthirster because Skarbrand was extremely devout. He was extremely like Khorne and everything. He was extremely loyal. But in one fight between Khorne and Siege started manipulating Skarbrand. And Skarbrand started becoming more violent towards his own demons and Khorne and being more rebellious. Until eventually it culminated in a fight when Khorne and all of his demons are on the battlefield, and after they win, in a bout of anger, Skarbrand turns around and strikes Khorne in the face with his axe. That obviously does nothing, because it's Khorne. But what Khorne does is he immediately grabs Skarbrand by the throat and drags him all the way back to the Brass Citadel. Like the Bronze City, I mean, which is his homeworld.
His home realm.
Yeah, his home realm. So in the Brass Citadel, in the Bronze City, the Brass Citadel is his like palace in the Bronze City. So in the Bronze City, he calls all of his demons to come watch. All of them come by. They're all there, and he's up on his Brass Citadel, holding Skarbrand by the throat. And he says, "This is a warning to any demon that attempts to betray me." He grabs Skarbrand and throws him into the sky, and the story is that Scarbrand flew for 7 nights and 7 days until he eventually crashed on a planet with such force the planet split in half, and Scarbrand's wings never recovered. Which is why he's the only bloodthirster that can't fly.
Even though he has wings?
His wings are completely tattered, though, if you see them.
I'm gonna go double check that.
If you look at...
I'm double checking Battlescribe if he can fly.
I'm pretty sure he can't. Because if you look at the model, his wings are completely shattered. They're like scattered. They're basically only like the joints, you know? The quote-unquote fingers of the wings.
Look at this. Is he an HQ?
He's a Lord. He's a HQ. Yeah. All of the graded demons are HQs. Only the demon primarchs are Lords of War.
Okay, demonic, Deathbringer. Oh, great thing.
Yep, he can't fly. But yeah, that is Scarbrand. The thing is, what happened with Scarbrand after he landed and he woke up from essentially like a coma.
Demon coma.
Yeah, Khorne hated him forever. Khorne has no mercy, so he is not welcoming Scarbrand back. But it's funny because that event essentially made Scarbrand 5 times more loyal to Khorne and like 10 times more devout. And now he hates Siege with a burning passion.
Okay.
And yeah. And last thing, Khorne's number is the number 6.
Oh my God.
And no, it's the number 8. 6 is Slanesh.
Okay.
Is the number 8, just like how with Nurgle's number 7. With Khorne, it's the number 8. His color is blood red as well as brass, like a bronze brassish color.
He also has the best Citadel paint ever, Blood for the Blood God.
Blood for the Blood God, Skulls for the Skull Throne, which is why decapitation is seen as something very important with the Khornate, like berserkers and just all of the people that follow Khorne. But the last thing I want to say about Khorne is he has a much larger presence actually in Age of Sigmar.
Yeah, because the warp is like shared between the two universes and connected.
And also he has a bigger following because he has the Gortide.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure that is it.
That's it. We don't have any other news. We talked about Faith and Fury for a stupid amount of time.
Yeah, we went on. This is probably the longest recording session we've had. I think this has been 3 hours.
I don't know about that. I'll check it when we're done, but we'll see. I timer, shouldn't I? Anyway, But yeah, so this has been the Real Heresy Hours podcast. I'm Locust.
And I've been Void.
So yeah. Thank you for tuning in.
And hopefully by next podcast, I'll actually have a good mic, so my voice doesn't sound like I'm a squeaky kid from Xbox.
Yeah. Yeah. See you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.